It's time to change time. So to start this week's Explore Tulsa, we decided to rock you into the end of daylight savings time.
Then everyone gets to enjoy water sports.
Followed by beautifying your home.
Plus touring T-Town.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Great to see you again for this week's Explore Tulsa. Stevie, why are you yawning?
This is dark time change.
But it's only just begun.
Not at our house. We like to start a week early to get used to it faster. I've been here at least an hour waiting for you to start the show.
Well, what you need is a little something to get your blood pumping. Ooh, like the 3rd annual Rock and Folk and Chili Cook-Off at the Cain's Ballroom.
What we've really tried to do is be a champion for the musicians and let them do what they do best. They play music, that's their thing. They write songs, let them focus on their craft and let us come in where they need help. Then maybe we've done something to contribute, to the Tulsa community in that way. Morton Records is a nonprofit, a 501c3 standalone organization. We provide a number of services to help the Tulsa area music community. That could be helping people get stuff recorded, distributing music, band management, promotion, a lot of administrative support, and a lot of us just kind of waving the banner for Tulsa music and raising that awareness about what a great scene that we have right here. How some of this started for me was really going out and getting involved in the local scene, going to a lot of shows and just meeting the musicians. And there was a point in time, say 7, 8, 9 years ago, where it felt like something was starting to really blossom again, especially here in downtown and a lot of different clubs. And in the original music scene, there was a whole new wave of young talent that was getting out there and doing it every night and just growing and developing, and it was a real strong community. There was a lot of camaraderie, and what I found as I became friends with a lot of those people is they just needed some help getting organized. So we just started, getting involved really at a grassroots level, and it never was a formal plan. It just kind of evolved as the music evolved.
There's a town in Oklahoma I used to call home.
And at the event, you're going to hear artists that are Tulsa area artists. You're going to hear everything from kind of acoustic folk-related songwriter type music to some jazzy funk stuff from a band called Generoso. You're going to hear some kind of original Tulsa boogie kind of music with Dustin Pitsley and Paul Benjamin and Wink Burcham. And then we have a special guest coming in, Ian Moore and the Lossy Coils. And Ian is a guy that grew up in Texas, lives in Seattle now, but has been a big part of the Tulsa scene for years. In the 90s, he was selling out Cain's Ballroom and touring the world with everyone. And he's been a real ambassador for the Tulsa music scene, just in his own words. Operating with private donations and different contributions from kind people in the community, and we felt like we needed to have an annual event to not only fund the nonprofit organization but also kind of be a celebration of Tulsa music. And we wanted to do something that was accessible to everyone, so an all ages event. We wanted to partner with other people in the community, so Cain's Ballroom was a great fit. And we wanted to do something that was kind of fun and not too uptight. So, chili ended up being something that we landed on. We feel like music and chili works well together. It's a lot of fun, and the chili side of the event, the musicians have their own category and they make their own chili recipes and they give it a name. Paul Benjamin had the Voodoo Chili Slight Return, little take on Jimi Hendrix. And that's always a fun little, competitive, kind of segment of the evening, is having the musicians compete in their part of the chili cook-off. Then we have some great restaurants and teams, some wonderful restaurants from all around Tulsa that we're fortunate enough to have they're all going to be bringing their own special brands to the chili cook-off. So it's a lot of fun.
Brian is really on to something. He's using his business savvy to help the musical artists of Tulsa have a platform to show off their talents.
This year's Rock and Folk and Chili Cook-Off is Saturday, November 12th, and you can still get your tickets at canesballroom.com.
Every time daylight savings time ends, I start my countdown to when it starts up again, spring and water sports too.
Oh, not to worry, Stevie. We'll take in a little water sporting next when we meet the area creator of No Limits Adaptive Water Skiing when Explore Tulsa continues.
Hey, it's Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got 2 great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life and see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our 2 locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I gotta tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number one reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Are your memories fading?
And no, not the ones stored on your little gray cells. The memories you've collected on those old VHS camcorders.
Or even that beat up Super 8?
Video Revolution can restore your memories from any outdated format and return them to you in a DVD or Blu-ray form.
That way you can relive the past on the big screen.
We can even produce digital copies for you to share with your families or friends online.
Check us out on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis. Hello, it's great to see you still with us for more Explore Tulsa.
Now, Trish, our next story is kind of near and dear to my heart as my stepdaughter and many of her friends are high-functioning young adults with Asperger's. And when I get to meet someone like Trevor Legas, I always am so grateful for what he does to help them out.
In Trevor's case, he and his wife have brought a concept they were a part of in the UK that teaches people with all sorts of disabilities how to enjoy water sports.
I sort of got into it almost by accident because I was skiing at a club in the UK and they used to ski disabled people once the first Saturday in every month, and I just turned up one day just expecting to ski and found out that they were skiing these disabled people, and I was, first of all, I was angry. I was thinking, oh, I want to ski, why can't I ski? It was a great day, it's sunny and whatever, which is unusual in the UK. And then I sort of stood around and watched just for a few minutes, and I realised what was going on. I thought, this is amazing, this is really cool. So I got involved. I asked if I could get involved on a regular basis on the Saturdays or whatever. And it went on from there, and I probably did that for about 6 or 7 years. Then I became the local chairman, and then eventually I ended up being the national chairman in the UK for disabled skiing. Came for work reasons, but also because we were heavily into the sport. I wasn't just involved in disabled sport, I was just involved in water skiing generally. I did competitions, I was running competitions, I was part of British water ski as well. So when the opportunity came up to come over for my work, our first thought was, well, where are we going to ski? So when my boss said to me, you can come over here, you're going to have to work and live in Tulsa, and I'm like, great. So I put the phone down and then went on Google and tried to find the local lakes, and of course then I found them. There's so many lakes in this area. I automatically thought, this is great because we can carry on our disabled water skiing in Tulsa. It's very easy. All we'll do is get a hold of the local organisation and we'll get involved and we'll do what we were doing before. And when we got here, we realised there wasn't anything. First of all, we were very disappointed, and then my wife said to me, well, we've done this before, we've gone through this process before, there's no one there to help us, but we've got the boat, we've got the lakes, why don't we just do it ourselves? So that's what we did. It is effectively, I think you guys call it a program of skiing for people with a disability, any disability, anything from being blind, being deaf, have a physical disability to mental disability, autism. I mean, you name it, we can do it. There's only one thing that we don't do, and that's brittle bone. Brittle bone, obviously, because of the way that the sport is, would cause us a problem. I think, to be honest with you, a lot of disabled people have got less fear than we have, and some of them would argue they've got greater talents than we have, and I would absolutely agree with that. For example, if someone is blind or someone is deaf, then their other senses are greater. But the families and the assistants or the helpers are probably more nervous than the people that ski. Once we take them away from their comfort zone, they're normally pretty good with us. This is the people that are actually skiing themselves. The helpers will come on the boat or they'll stay on the land and they'll watch. They'll think it's amazing, but they're more nervous than the people that are skiing. It's a real eye-opener for everybody when they see how excited these guys are. We're not one-trick ponies. We're not going to come along and teach people to ski and then say, right, okay, that's it, you've had your go, off you go. What we're going to do is we're going to try and create something that people can do on a regular basis. They feel they're actually benefiting from it. Not just physically, but mentally and socially and everything. The people involved actually doing it, they love it.
That was so much fun to watch. All those folks enjoying and loving what Trevor is teaching them on the water.
If you have a friend or a family member that can benefit from the fun Trevor offers, visit NoLimitsWaterSkiing.com to learn more.
After trying to stay up on skis myself, I'm thinking I'd like to have something a little more steady to keep my feet on.
Oh, how about a beautiful Persian rug?
As long as it's not the flying kind, then I'm good.
You'll have to ask Mr. Ahmady when we stop in at Ahmady's Persian Rugs next with more Explore Tulsa.
Send me some love.
Look at us. We woke up one morning with every song that ever mattered to anyone. So now what? Music's meant to be heard, out loud, where your life happens, where you dance, where you love, and where you live. When everyone has every song ever written, what matters most is how you listen.
Come hear for yourself at Video Revolution.
Hello, I'm John Erling with Voices of Oklahoma. Our great state has been home to countless individuals whose place in history has been earned through each of their many accomplishments. Voices of Oklahoma's mission is to preserve their story in an oral history presentation like none other. Accounts direct from famous Oklahomans, political figures, and many others who have left their indelible mark on the development, history, and future of Oklahoma. So please, treat yourself by listening to those who are the voices of Oklahoma.
Like parents have a thing, when it gets too quiet in the home, we're worried. You know what I mean? I don't like silence in the home because it just feels dead.
Silence, that just doesn't feel like a creative place to me.
Turning on music in your house is almost like turning on the lights in your house.
Music makes mundane stuff better. And it's never too late to discover new things.
You just never know what song's gonna come on next.
Silence is probably the enemy of a happy home.
Come hear for yourself at Video Revolution.
Hello, so nice to see you back with us for more Explore Tulsa. Now, Stevie, do you have many rugs in your house?
We have a couple, but I always thought it'd be great to have one of those beautiful Persian rugs, those huge ones that tell a story on them.
Well, why don't you just get one?
I'm afraid the cats will cough up a hairball all over it, and ruin the beautiful story.
Well, you know that they can clean that, and a family known for some of the best rugs in town and how to maintain them can be found at Ahmady's Persian Rugs.
Persian rug lasts forever, lasts in 5-generation high traffic area. We have rugs made in late 19th century, mid 19th century, 17th century. Still the rugs, they are around. I'm born in Iran and grew up in Iran. I finished my school in Iran, and after that I went to Dubai. And I was in Dubai for 5 years, and I moved here in 1993 and started my business around 1994. Tulsa is central and to raise a family. It's good, it's easy to go east and west. I like Tulsa. Yeah, I'm a third generation in this business. It's a good experience. That's why I learned this business. Yeah, people from the family. They taught me how to make the rugs and how to buy what kind of rug is good, what kind of rugs, what kind of rugs you have to deal with it. And with the customers, that can actually is a two different culture in Iran and America. When I come to America, really totally different. You have to do totally different deal with the customer than when you do deal with Iran. And I learned it here in America myself, how to deal with the customers. The process is the first of the year and end of the year, we shave the lamb because lamb has to be alive to take the wool out of the lamb. You can get a better quality out of the lamb, out of the wool, and when you spin the wool, it's going to be finer. After spun the wool, we have to find a person to create the design for us, and after we create the design, we have to find another person to tell us what color to put it, to kind of the color, doesn't blend together, it doesn't fight. After we find out about the color, we have to dye the wool the color we want it with natural sources. And like pomegranate, saffron, or that kind of stuff, we have to dye the wool the color we want it. After we find out about those two, then we have to find a family to make it for us. Because Persian rugs made not in a factory, made in individual houses. And then we have to find a family and give it to the family and they make a rug for us. Average rug is about 300 knots per square inch. It takes about for 8 by 10, 300 knots per square inch. It takes about almost a year and a half to make it. Yeah, because they have to, every individual knot, they do it one at a time. Actually, traffic really helps the rugs. You get like a spin the wool, traffic helps to get a finer quality, get better and better. That's why a lot of antique pieces are more expensive than new pieces. My daughter is really interested, my son is really interested. But I like to educate first, then become, if they want to take up this business after the education is finished, or then, I think they're interested in it. Once a year I take them to Iran, I show them how they make the rugs, we take them to the villages, the places they make the rugs, and they know the cultures. Yeah, they're interested in it, they like it. When I buy a rug really for a store, I feel like I want to buy for my house. I check it, make sure it's good quality. I feel like if I buy for myself and try to bring the best rugs in Tulsa.
I had no idea it took an entire family to make one of those rugs. I wonder if I could talk my kids into helping me make one.
Yeah, good luck with that. But if you don't want to wait a year and a half for your rug, stop in at Ahmady's and pick from their huge selection, or visit their website at ahmadispersianrugs.com.
All over Tulsa, you can find beautiful furnishings and rugs throughout so many of the Art Deco buildings around T-Town.
Oh, and that lady that can take us right to it and have a great story or two to share is our next guest, Kelly Gibson of Tours of Tulsa, just ahead on Explore Tulsa.
I want to get a new TV. There's like 1,000 different brands, all with different features. I wish I could make sense of it all. What do you think is best?
You should go to Video Revolution. Their experts will tell you everything you need to know. They carry the latest LED and 4K TVs and will even install it and set it up for you too.
She's right. You wouldn't talk to anyone but your dentist about your bicuspid. So when it comes to home entertainment, only trust the experts at Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
I want to tell this story.
Okay.
You don't have to go out of Tulsa to find creative people, creative firms to be able to work on projects.
We are where East meets West. It is because of the old 11th Street Bridge. That is the reason that Route 66 even came to Tulsa.
I'm approaching retail almost from an artist's viewpoint.
We've got the capability here, we've got the success, and we have the people that are committed to it. That's a great recipe for success.
If you're like me and are enjoying the warmer temps that we've been having throughout November, then you'll be very glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
Oh, especially if you're looking for something fun and interesting to do outdoors. Our friend Kelly Gibson shows us many of the sights of our fair city and shares more of the interesting details of each.
I should have been a tour guide because I have some awesome stories I could tell.
Maybe so, but at Tours of Tulsa, all of Kelly's stories are actually true.
Tulsa is home to 3 of the largest Methodist churches in our country. Boston Avenue United Methodist Church is one of those churches in our beautiful city of Tulsa. But this building has not always been their church site. Their church site used to stand up at 5th and Boston when they outgrew their 3-story building. And as good Methodists can do, they put together a committee and they sent a plea nationwide to all the artists in our country to see who might study Methodist symbolism, and if they would study that, what might an Art Deco church building look like. They found their artist right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Her name, it was a woman, Ada Robinson, and this was in 1927. They found Ada Robinson, who happened to be a Central High School art teacher. Right above the doors, there are 3 symbols that indicate worship, ceremony, and meditation. But if you take your eyes on up, do you see the 3 horsemen that are up there? Those 3 horsemen are to be representative of the circuit riders. They may have been called many years ago saddlebag preachers. The one on the right-hand side is Francis Asbury, and the one on the left-hand side is William McKendry. But the one in the middle is known as the unknown rider. That's supposed to represent all of the members of this congregation. Notice above the windows and above the doors, there are arched down lines, and that is supposed to represent all God's love, God's outpouring of love on all who enter into this building. Notice all of the points that are going up all around the building, as if going up to heaven. But look very closely and see what those points are. There are actually 62 praying hands, and the praying hands are open, and that is for the prayers to go up and divine answers to come down. All total, there are 1,200 Art Deco praying hands. Even the top of the steeple of the 15-story tower is to represent the praying hands. This is Oklahoma limestone, and unique to Oklahoma limestone, this is a self-cleaning stone. The sun bakes it and the rains are gonna wash it off. This is the beautiful columbarium that was added in the year 2000, and this is where membership from the church can come and visit their loved ones as they see that the need. We're now standing in the beautiful sanctuary, and again, this pink mauve color follows us into this sanctuary. 2 things that the color pink mean. Number 1, it's the color of healing, but number 2, it is the greatest drawer of light. The altar is to represent where Jesus gave his life for each one of us. On the altar, that Bible is always facing the congregation, not facing the pulpit, and there are always 2 candles representing fully human and fully divine. That beautiful mosaic that is behind the pulpit area that was added in 1960, 750,000 pieces of tile. And it is supposed to be the light that is coming from that beautiful 13-foot cross that has indentions, and the indentions are to represent where there was once someone hanging there, but that person is now raised from the dead. Everything on the exterior of the building as well as on the interior of the building has a meaning. Come and find out what all this church has to tell you about this beautiful Boston Avenue United Methodist Church.
I love the stories that Kelly shares with us on her tours. They remind me of the ones that I tell when people come through to take the Explore Tulsa studio tour. But did you know that this is the very studio where Walter Cronkite reported the Apollo 11 landing on July 23rd, 1969?
No, it's not. First of all, the Apollo 11 lunar landing took place on July 20th, 1969.
Well, yeah, but 3 days later, he stopped by and reenacted the whole thing for the Video Revolution crew.
Don't listen to him, but if you are interested in taking a tour with Kelly, visit toursoftulsa.com.
Would you believe that from this very stage, Ed Sullivan introduced the Beatles to the United States?
A really big show tonight.
Oh, brother, stick around. We'll be back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99 or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Why so sad, Stevie?
The dinosaur's gone, Trish.
It was a bad accident, but our technician was able to walk away from the scene.
But people are so used to seeing the dinosaur and knowing that it represented over 30 years of experience in personal service and in-home and office repair and installation.
No worries, Stevie. We'll get another dinosaur. And until then, we have a whole fleet of Video Rev trucks ready to continue serving Tulsans.
And people can still stop by Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis. Be sure and join us next week when we visit the Tulsa Geoscience Center.
Aw, special thanks to Brian Horton for organizing the Rock and Folk and Chili Cook-Off while helping the Tulsa music scene thrive.
Thanks too to Trevor Ligas for giving people with disabilities something to look forward to with No Limits adaptive water skiing. And thanks to Mr. Ahmady and his family for bringing Tulsa such beautiful Persian rugs.
Also thanks to Kelly Gibson for taking us on another T-Town adventure with Tours of Tulsa.
And remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at ExploreTulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook and share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for all your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of Tulsa's best eye care value with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.